Madine! Madine! Report to the day room. Your visitors are here. And don't forget to close the door. You know the rules.
We have rules. You can just stick it up here. Hi. Whoa. I really have a lot of visitors. This is great. I'm really very happy that you came. I like to have visitors because it gets me out of that TV room. None of you have seen my dad, have you? I'd like to find that son of a bitch. I have to keep notes because when I get out of here, I might write a book or something, or sell my story to the National Enquirer, or I might apply for a grant. And I will title the grant, "Crazy People Don't Get Grants." That'll get their attention. I'm really glad you're all here. I really am. Because that TV room is really, really depressing. I mean, all the things that are going on, like wars and homeless and wars and fighting and wars and rumors of wars and rape. I don't like rape. I think that they should do something about rape. And if you want to know the truth, I have the answer. If anybody would care to take a few minutes to call me. I stand out in that hallway day and night by that telephone, just in case somebody wants to call me, and I will give them the information, and I won't even charge them. I think it should be mandatory for all rapists to have penis prints. Why not? Women have to have those mammogram things. We have to put our tit up there and get it smashed down like a damn pancake. I got to thinking that'd be a great way to do rapists. They could just stick their little penises up there and get it smashed down. And God help the rapist with the little penis. Because he's little nuts. Could you think of anything any sillier than a whole metal file of those penis prints down at the police station? Look like a bunch of little mushroom heads. A couple little asparagus heads. See, and then I thought we could make a device like those things we used to get out of the Cracker Jack boxes, like those clacker things, like the really good things they used to give us in Cracker Jack boxes, not the junk they give us now, where it's just better if you just pour the Cracker Jacks out and blow into the box and make the fart noises. Where that's a bad this little clacker thing, you know, you can put teeth on it. And when the rape is going on, the victim could whip out her clacker, or his clacker, or their clacker, and they could just snip it off. Now, I realize this is kind of brutal and not very nice. But you have to think that when the police showed up, they would have their first clue. Can you tell I have a lot of time to think in here? They said that one of the reasons I'm in here is because I wasn't a good mother. That isn't completely true. I hope you don't mind that I drink in front of you, because they give us this medication and it's like Thorazine, and if you don't keep your mouth wet, you get these things growing like out of your mouth this way. They're like stalactites and stalagmites, like those caves. And the catatonic patients just stand around and they just grow. They just grow and grow. And I sometimes think about going over to them and busting them off. But you never know what's going to send them into a little. So I have to watch them every day grow. Just like sitting in a cave, watching them grow. So I hope that you don't mind that I have to drink in front of you, because I have to keep my mouth kind of wet. About the kids thing, I took pretty good care of them. I decided that when I started having children at 14, that I was going to be a better mother than my mother was going to be. She was a terrible mother. She was just like a fallen down, pathetic, stupid little drunk. That sort of sums her up pretty good. I think that's being light. I think that's being fair. My mom would like sit around the house all day, drinking a lot, and smoking lots of cigarettes, and saying the most confusing things. Things like,
Just be yourself, for Christ's sakes.
and then in the very next breath, she'd say,
Just who in the hell do you think you are?
it's like, well, how many guesses do I get? I did take better care of my kids. I had all my kids in the 60s. And at that time, that was kind of like the hippie thing, you know, where we wore tie-dye and we were into health foods and all that stuff. And we wore that tie-dye and all that ink soaked into our skin. But we didn't think about that because our bodies were temples and we just wanted to be rebels with our tie-dye, and we wanted everything. We wanted our LSD pure, and we didn't want any chemicals on our marijuana. But our bodies were temples, so we didn't want to put no sugar in them. So I thought, well, I want to be a part of the tie-dye set, so I'm not going to eat any sugar, and I'm not going to let my kids eat any sugar. So I called them in one day, and I said, okay, kids, sit down right here in front of Mom. And they pretty much did whatever I told them to do. They knew what they were dealing with. I think at a pretty young age. There were three little redheaded kids. They were so sweet. There was Ronnie, Ronette, and Ronson. And he still hasn't forgiven me for that name. My second husband said, why would you name your kid after a cigarette lighter? And I said, well, because when I was pregnant with him, I was reading this novel, and it was called Drum. And it was about this African slave that came over from Africa in chains, and they sent him on a ship, and he came over here, and somehow or another he got out of the chains. I think he got out of the chains. I don't remember that part, but I think he did because he had a baby. It'd be hard to have the baby in the chain. Well, he had a little boy, and his name was Drum, so he called his son Drum Son. And I already had Ronnie, Ronette, and their father's name was Ron, so Run Son. I didn't think about the cigarette lighter. That's why we call him Link. So I said, kids, I don't want you to eat sugar. And they just looked at me like, I I know that you love sugar because that's what kids are supposed to do. They're supposed to love sugar, and just go ahead and eat all the sugar you want, and your teeth will rot out and they'll fall on the ground, and then your lip will fall off and your gums will get all black. But go ahead and be the sneaky little creepy things that you're supposed to be as kids, because that's what kids are supposed to do. And they just looked at me. So I said, no, this has got to get a little more creative. So I said, every time you go to put sugar in your mouth, I want you to think of Mom doing this. Okay? Now pay attention. Hi! I am Sugar and I'm a booger and I can be so very much fun. You can lick me, suck me, chew me, or let me lie upon your tongue. And then when I have melted and I'm stuck into your teeth, allow me to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Mr. Cavity, L. Keith.
Well, that's me, Mr. Cavity. Shit. I like to sneak in your mouth late at night with your little dude. I like to start a fight. Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Well, the first time that I sang that song for my kids, I think they pretty well figured out they were in for a fairly long and fairly bumpy childhood. I think they did that all by themselves because they had been to other kids' houses and they knew how their mothers acted, and they didn't act anything like I did. They were good little kids. I mean, the neighbor kids used to love to come over to our house. They really did. They used to, when they didn't have anything to do, they said, let's go over to their house because their mom, she's really weird. She like rides around on this imaginary motorcycle, making blooper sounds with her mouth like, and I did do that because I just wanted the kids to have fun when they were over there. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. And it was just fun. It was just fun. At the time of having the kids in the 60s, there was this great thing that hit the country. It was called diet pills. Okay? Diet pills. And I'm so glad that the tie-dye set wasn't against diet pills, or I would have had to get my membership back from the tie-dye set. Oh, I liked them. I don't know if any of you are old enough, or some of you that are, you'll understand what I mean. They were good, weren't they? Yeah. Oh, memories. But anyhow, these were the times when you could call the doctor and tell him you were fat. And so he would just call the drugstore, and then the drugstore would deliver the diet pills to your house. You didn't even have to go in. I mean, it was so exciting, and I loved them so much, I felt like I should dress up inside of the house in a Halloween costume and have my bag ready, so that when they came to the door with my diet pills, I could go, trick or treat! I liked the pills a little too much, and I realized that. So the first time I got the bag with the pills in them, I read on the thing, take one every 12 hours. But hey, I was a rebel. I was a tie-dyer. Nobody was going to tell me what to do. So I took 2 of them. Ooh, that was a bad mistake. These little babies were called speckled birds. And so I took 2 of them, and then things started shooting like through my mind, and I really started going crazy. I mean, okay, this is what I did. I did the dishes, I did the floors, I did the upstairs, the downstairs, I did the beds, I did under the beds, I went back upstairs, I went downstairs, I did the windows, I did the walls, I went outstairs and did the porch, I did the walk, and I did the fence, I would have done the roof, but I couldn't find a ladder, and I did all this in 20 minutes. And I had the rest of the day to kill. bouncing off the walls. So, I got to thinking one night, if I could get that much done on 2 of those pills, this lady can really relate. On 2 of those pills, what would happen if I took the whole bottle? So I did. I took all 33 speckled birds. Oh, I mean, I could have written 3 novels that night if I wanted to. I could have done that much. I could have written 3 novels. I could have done like 17 plays. I was so brilliant. I mean, thoughts were coming into my head and going out of my head. I thought, okay, now this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring the kids out into the living room. So I brought them out into the living room and I said, kids, go to sleep. So they were going outside. I don't know if they were sleeping or not, but they were closing their eyes watching me. I was tearing around and I thought, okay, now I need to talk to somebody. And then the kids just weren't good conversationalists at that age. So I thought, okay, now I was living in Illinois, so I'll call my sister in California. I talked to my sister in California for 6 hours and she never knew one thing was wrong with me. I talked to my sister, I talked to her kids, I talked to her dog, her cat, her goldfish, I talked to her husband. I mean, I didn't even care for her husband that much, but I talked to him. I said, God loves you, I love you. And I was just talking, and I'm sure that the phone was sometimes just laying there by itself, just going like this, and I was just talking to nobody. And then pretty soon they hung up the phone, so the operator was on the phone. I said, so how are you? What do you do? How do you like the job? I mean, how is it? And she says, if you want to make a call, hang up. I said, well, and I remember that I was drinking a glass of like water or Kool-Aid or lemonade or something, and I dropped it on the floor, and I cut my foot on it. And when I was on the phone talking, I was doing this, and I looked down on the floor, and I thought, whoa, I didn't know I had any artistic abilities. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought, well, if I could get this up off the floor, this would be a pretty interesting piece of art. And then it started getting kind of thick and sticky. So I thought, well, I'm running out of my medium, basically, is what's happening. So I thought, what the hell, my foot's cut, what's the big deal? So I got the glass and I cut my wrist so I could get some more medium down there and just get it going again. And boy, I mean, I was having too many thoughts. That's what I was doing. So the kids were out in the living room, and I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll light the drapes on fire. I don't have anything else to do. Why don't I just light the drapes on fire? So that's what I did. I lit the drapes on fire, and they were those like fiberglass drapes with the rubber backing, and they just kind of like sparkled and smoked, and they threw off toxic waste up to the ceiling, and it was like toxic waste before we knew what toxic waste was. And then I thought, okay, and then I had a calm moment, and I realized, you know what, I can't burn this house down. What about my husband's grandmother's paintings? There was these lovely paintings in the house, and they were the nicest things I ever had in my whole life. So I thought, well, that's no problem. What I'll do is I'll take the paintings down off the wall, and I'll take them outside, and I'll put them under the tree. That's what I'll do. They'll be under the tree, and then the paintings won't get burned. And then I went back and I tried to light the. Come on, baby, burn, and it wouldn't burn. And then I just thought, oh, okay, now stop it. Now you've got to pull yourself together here. First of all, you've got to think about one thing. When the police show up and the fire truck shows up, they're going to know that you burned your house down. Now, is this what you want for a legacy? Is this what you came to Earth for? No, this isn't really what I came to Earth for. I heard other plans, but nothing seems to be working, and I have all these little babies, and and then I got to thinking, good God, think about where you live. You live in Illinois. You know what it's like living in Illinois. I don't know if any of you know about the Midwest, but all those people do is sit on their porch swings and swing and talk about everybody. And that's what they'd do. They'd say, yeah, that's where she lived. Right over there. Burned her house down. I didn't see it coming. She was an odd woman, but I just didn't see that coming. 3 nice little redheaded kids, odd names, but I just didn't see it coming. It's really just a horrible, crying shame. So anyhow, Emma, how's those quarts of beans coming along that you've been canning? See, that would be the first year. Then 5 years would pass, and then they'd be saying, yeah, that shit's right over there is where she lives in that house. That house is all burned down right over there. And you know what? I heard that she killed one of her kids, and she cooked them, and she ate them, and then she hung herself, and then she burned the house down. That's what she did. And then like 10 and 15 years would go by, and the story would grow and grow and grow. And then in 50 years, I'd be more famous than Lizzie Borden. I mean, I would be the biggest thing in McLeansboro, Illinois. They had this huge sign outside of town. This is where the crazy woman burned her house down with her children in it. Now, is that what you want to be known for? I don't know. That isn't what I want to be known. But I got to tell you something right now. If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't be here to tell you this story. Because those pictures were really shitty paintings. I didn't know that because I was no connoisseur of art. It just so happens this old woman was very rich and she could afford nice frames. So, I got to thinking more. And I was drinking. And so I said, well, okay, I won't do it like this. I said, kids, wake up, get up, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something really fun. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go outside and get under the tree with the pictures, and they did. They didn't ask any questions. They just went out and got under the tree, and I went back in and I thought, okay, now everything's settled, everything's set. God, why did I take all those pills? I've got so much energy. I don't know what to do. So I did just exactly what I had to do. I burned the house down. My first 5 minutes in the asylum, thick yellow door slammed shut. Small window, bars, lonely eyeball, dead soul, praying, isolation, the dying can't hear. Hallway, humid brown air, dripping urine, voices float to ceiling, hanging like deranged ornaments. I stand naked, my soul, savages gather, dividing my decrepit bones to be worn as trinkets during the dance in the cardinal raging flames.
Oh, good God, what a bunch of crap. Jesus, in the garden of raging flames. Good God, let it go. Gives a crap about all that shit.
I think it's very important for her to do that. I think her poetry could be the one that saves her. I think the poem was rather good. It had good cadence, nice imagery. I think you ought to let her go, Ish. I think you ought to.
Yeah, I do too. I don't understand poetry, but I like it, and because poetry is like music, and I love music. It's like I wanna be loved by you, and nobody else.
Hey, shut the fuck up. God damn it, Bubbles, I wanna be loved by you. Jesus Christ. And Maddie, I don't want you encouraging that goddamn poetry. God damn it, stop it.
Hey. You all stop it. You know that we're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed to talk among ourselves. That's what the doctor said. It's not like we're exactly alone anyhow. You know, we do have visitors, in case you haven't noticed. God, I just don't think I'm ever gonna get out of here if those guys don't go away and leave me alone. I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm glad I have them. They've been a lot of help to me in my life, but it's just, you know, let me tell you what I figured out all by myself. I didn't need a doctor for this. I mean, I know what the root of my neuroses or psychoses or myeloses or I figured out all by myself the foundation of my problems. It was those songs they made me sing in kindergarten. They made us kids stand up there in a line. Some of us couldn't breathe, some of us couldn't talk, some of us had already tingled in our pants. And they made us stand there and sing songs like, gray squirrel with your bushy tail. Winkle up your funny nose, hold your nuts between your toes. Why in the hell did they make me sing those songs? I never once had to use them when I went out into the job market. Typing 50 words a minute? Whoa, 50 words a minute? I don't think so. I can't type 50 words in a minute. But hey. The inky dinky spider rolled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. There sits my dad with his dicky head. Oh no, that wasn't just, I didn't sing that song for any employers, employees. I remember in the first grade I had to go see this school psychologist or psychiatrist or sociologist or one of the theology people. And it's those people, I figured out later on in life, that question their own sanity. Therefore, they go into that line of work. So we pretty well have just a bunch of nuts taking care of all of us nuts. And I had to go down and see her because my teacher said I was special and that I was showing peculiar behavior. And I thought, peculiar behavior? What? I didn't understand what peculiar behavior was. I mean, I wasn't going into class going, hey, teacher, I love you, man. I did peculiar behavior. So I thought, well, I can do that. I can go down and see the teacher. That's no big deal. I mean, this lady, this psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever she was. So I just marched right down the hall and went into the room, and she was sitting there. And she was the scariest lady I have ever seen in my life. She was real tight and into herself like this. Hello, dear. How you doing? You comfortable? Uh-huh. You're not nervous, are you? We're going to play a little game today, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to look at that pile of papers over there on the table. And without thinking too much. No, don't think. I want you to tell me what you see in them. Think you can do that? Huh? Huh? You really think you can do that? I thought, whoa, lady, I can do anything. But I can't keep looking at your face. I can do just about it. So I turned right to the pictures on the table. And I didn't know if I should say this word or not, but I wanted to be right. in case it was a test, and I didn't want to fail the test because I didn't want to be special and I didn't want to be peculiar. So I said, okay, what I see in this first picture is I see a big happy vagina racing down a long dark hallway, screaming towards the sunlight in hopes to save the planet. Yes, that's what I see. Really? That's what you see in that picture? That's very interesting. No, you don't have to look at it anymore. No, that's good. No, I'll talk to your teacher. No, maybe I'll talk to you again. No, you can go back to your room now. Now go ahead. No, really. Bye-bye. That was it. That's what I didn't feel very special. I mean, that one pit.
Oh, good God. Jesus Christ. I mean, you still don't get it. Yeah, bye-bye, baby. Call our agent. We'll do lunch. Shit, goddamn miserable adults.
I had this burning thing in my stomach one day. I just woke up and it was burning real bad in my stomach, and I thought, oh God, I must have done something. I poked it or ate it or something was in there burning real bad, and then it got worse and worse. And then when I went to the bathroom, blood came out, red stuff. At first, I thought it was blood, and I thought, no way, I'm not going to die in the toilet, no way, I'm not going to do that. I must be eating too many of those red jawbreakers. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, I'm eating jawbreakers. I'm done with jawbreakers, I'm going right off of them cold turkey. That's it. And then the burning got really bad, and it's like I couldn't hardly get out of bed in the morning because I couldn't hardly walk, and so I had to go get my mother. Oh God, I had to go get my mother, and I said, Mom, my stomach is really hurting bad, and there's I knew what it was, but I just said, there's red stuff in the toilet. And so she went in and she looked in the toilet and she said, Jesus Christ, God damn it, it's blood. I thought, oh, that's just great. That's what I want to hear from my mom. That I'm bleeding to death in the toilet. It's not the jawbreaker. Thank goodness I don't have to give up the jawbreaker. That's fine. That's where I wanted to die. Was right in the toilet. Why don't I just stick my head in there and flush it? That would be good. I had to go to the doctor. And my mom made me go to the doctor by myself. And I said, Ma, no. I don't want to go to the doctor by myself because I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And she said the strangest thing. She said, you don't do as I do. You do as I say. Best laid plans of mice and men. What the hell was she talking about? I never saw a mouse make a plan. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Okay, I won't. If I ever have any eggs and I have a basket, I won't. So I went to the doctor by myself. And I thought, I can do this. I can be grown up. I can be big. So I stretched myself like that so that I would look bigger and older. And I went in there and I acted like I knew what I was doing. And I just walked up to the desk and I said, hi, I'm here for my point. And the nurse just looked at me and she said, you're here for your what? And I said, well, I'm here for my point. I She said, dear, I think you're here for your appointment. I know that. I just wanted to shorten it so I wouldn't take up your time. And she was really a nice nurse. She was a big nurse, but she was nice. And I thought, wow, maybe this lady could be my mom. Maybe we could bond, and then she could take me home, and she'd have lots of food. So we had to go into this room. And she said, dear, you'll have to get it on the table. I said, okay. I can do that. She says, honey, you don't understand. You have to get it on the table. I said, okay, I will. And then she said, you have to put it on the table. And I said, okay. So it jumped on the table and I followed. Because I found out later, that's just the law of gravity. You just have to go wherever it goes. And then she did the strangest thing. She sat me up in these stirrup things. That's what she said. I'm positive she said they were stirrups. Like the stirrups that you go horseback riding on. It was just really strange. And she said, now you have to slide it down. I said, okay, I can do that. So it went down and I followed. She said, dear, you'll have to bring it a little further. I said, okay, here it comes further. She says, honey, it has to be hanging over the table. Oh, okay. It's over the table. And then the doctor came in and he said the strangest thing. He said, let's have a look at it. And I thought, wow, here we have a doctor and a nurse and all that education, and they don't even know what that thing's called. I think I'm going to go to medical school. I think I could learn what it's called like in 2 weeks. But then that doctor did something that changed my life. He changed my life. He brought one of those crook neck lights around. And it had a big light bulb in it, and he shined it down on it. I go, whoa! It felt pretty good, actually. I kind of liked it, really. But then I really got to thinking, sometimes, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if I had like crabs or something? I learned about crabs from my brother, and I thought, anyhow, wouldn't it be great if I had them, and they come dancing out of it, and they had little top hats on, and a little cane, and little black patent leather shoes. And they stood down there and they went, That's all they said. They called it and went, and that was it. Then they gave me a piece of paper and I had to take it home to my mom, and she had to go to the drugstore and give me these pills. And I had to take them, and they made me sick, and they put big spots on my tongue. And they made me throw up. And I didn't like them. But the good thing is I got to go back to eating Jawbreakers, because there's no more red in the toilet. I was really happy about that. And the pain was all gone. All that pain was wiped out right there. Chain-linked fence. The buzzard's shrill blast from the box on the green wall. Lambs to the slaughter we are herded. The playground, chain-linked fence kept us crammed together, breathless, sharing the charade known as childhood. A man, damp, rusted zipper, hangs his rotted fruit in the dead of winter on the cold side of the canned laughter. Fat women with swollen ankles hanging over dirty brown loafers. Legs and arms speckled with red swollen scabs stand together, the enemy, in smelly polyester stretch pants, scratching stinking body parts, pushing strands of oily hair from vacant eyes, keeping their constant vigil. At night, I dream of those fat, ugly women, scratching, tearing rancid flesh off under their dirty fingernails, taunting the man with the rusted zipper, leaving him to weep, hanging on a cold chain-linked fence. I lay in the hollow, breathing dark, waiting. My fingers try to comfort my unripened fruit. Only Daddy has free harvest with. The playground. Constant eyeballs fixed upon the wards of the state, innocent lambs running from one side to the other, kept at bay by that goddamn fence. The ritualistic socialization of the young in a society already in its final decline. We left the playground, one by one, in varied stages of decay. You can find us on the byways, in the streets, in the gutters. We are searching. Yeah, we're searching. We're searching for our dreams that died many years ago as we watched our Savior bleeding from his eyes, hanging hopelessly on the cold chain-linked fence. I really love that. I really do. I might be going home. I might be going home to Scotland. I've been to Scotland. It just feels like things are healing up.
Oh, yeah, right. Good God. Why don't you go get a goddamn life? Jesus Christ, it looks like I'm gonna have to be the one to take over. You know what I mean? God damn, you got some nice looking ditties, baby. Wah, wah, wah.
Stop that! I'm sorry that he said that to you. I mean, your titties are nice. But he said, God damn you. You have to go do that.
Hey, sorry, I just happen to like ditties, God damn it. You know what I'm all about. Now, God damn it, you know me.
I know you, and I appreciate everything you've done, Ish, but you can't just come out at will and be mean to people. You can't say things like you like people's titties. That's not socially accepted.
Oh, excuse me. Boo-bah, boo-bah, boo-bah. Good God.
I just wish you guys would stop arguing. I want everything to be happier and better.
I just want us all to stop this. I just want us to stop it. It's not helping us. We have to find out what helps us. We have to do what they tell us to do. That's what's going to get us out of here. My mom, she was my inspiration for the first time I had to see a doctor when I got older, because the doctor needed a story about my childhood, so he could see into the dark part of my mind, because that's what doctors do. I didn't want to tell him too much, so I said, okay. My parents, they drank a lot, and they fought, and it was bad. My dad would pound on my mom's sponge-like flesh long past the saturation point of drunkenness, going, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And my mom would go, and I want you to ground you, oh God. And I would think, Jesus Christ, I can't wait to get a man to love me like my dad loved my mom. I knew I had the doctor's attention. So anyhow, they had this thing worked out. My dad would beat my mom, but then he'd just buy her a present. You see, it was like Get a beaten, get a toaster. Get a beaten, get a mixer. Get a beaten, get an electric skillet. She outfitted her whole kitchen with beatens. There was no place to go but out into the living room. This one night they're having a really terrible fight. I mean, things were getting broken. One of those things was my mom. It was horrible. You could hear him screaming and cursing and yelling. I mean, it was so bad that it was so bad that my mom's arm was popped out of place and they had to have a timeout so they could pop her arm back into place before they could finish fighting. And us sentimental little kids were upstairs going, yes, a new TV set. And sure enough, 2 days later, a big black and white console was sitting in our living room with a radio and a record player. We were happy kids. We was eating popcorn, watching Pinky Lee. Life was good. Mom was over in the big green chair, crutches on the floor. I don't think she was much enjoying her new present, because both of her eyes were swollen shut and she couldn't tell exactly where we had set the TV. I mean, I would have offered her some popcorn, but she had this big, fat, swollen bottom lip with a big crack in it. And I just figured that it would just burn and cause her more pain. And I didn't think she could take any more pain. Well, not right then anyhow. But she got better. She always got better. She had to. Besides, we needed a new toaster. She slammed the other one into the wall that morning. Yeah, it's been nice talking to you too, Doctor. Yeah. My mom had 16 kids. And I know what you're thinking. Mormon or Catholic. See, that's what you're doing. We were Catholic. I used to have this reoccurring nightmare all the time about all these kids coming out of her like Link sausages in their own casing. It was very scary. It was like the night of the living zombie babies. It was horrible. I used to think about, God, this is just, it really upset me. I didn't like all those kids. And I realized that it was probably not very easy having that many kids and being a drunk. I mean, that could cause a lot of tension in any family. I mean, like, that many kids and all of them had minds of their own and they wanted to do things. Well, like the time I just got it thought it up, I had to do this, and it was no big thing. I mean, you guys have probably done it too. I straddled the bathtub, and I peed on my sister's head. What's the big deal? God, my sister, she started screaming and yelling and making such a big deal out of it. It's not like I blinded her or anything. God. Then there was my brother. He got this gopher bomb from a friend on the hill. Some friend. This gopher bomb was just supposed to smoke, and you're supposed to put it in a hole, like a gopher hole, and the gopher was supposed to come out. My brother's name was Patrick. Patrick Arnold. You have to wonder, who would name their kid after a pig? Green Acres, the place where... He was an impatient boy, so when that gopher bomb was laying on the ground and it was smoking, and about a third of my family was standing around him, he just picked up a hammer and smacked it. Oh, that was a bad decision. It turns out that gopher bomb was a dynamite tab. He almost blew up a third of my family. I thought, yes, fresh meat for the winter. My mom got really mad when I said that. I said, it's just a joke. I'm just trying to put a lot of humor in this. Besides, I'm sick of eating chicken backs. Maybe I'll get a chicken wing out of this. Some of them don't make it. So there's a lot of commotion going on, screaming and yelling. And my brother was standing there, and he was screaming and yelling, and we had to get him into the house and get his clothes off of him. And my mom, she was in bed because she'd been on a drunk, like a week drunk, so she was really sick. And whenever my mom was in bed with a hangover, we weren't allowed to say hangover or drunk or anything. We said, oh, she has the flu. Oh yes, Mom's in bed today. She has the flu. How's your mom doing today, dear? She has the flu. Oh, and damn soddy drunk. But you know, she heard all the commotion, and she come running out of the bedroom. She was furious. She had one of those weapons my dad used to make in the basement, and he was good. He was really good. I mean, if there had been any great demand for these implements, he could have sold these things at arts and crafts fairs and made a fortune. This was a paddle that had like 16 holes in it. It was 2 inches thick. It was painted green. It was sanded. It had a leather hanger on it. It was good. So when they whacked us, these great big old whelps came out. So it kind of like looked like little Lotta. And my mother, she come running out of the bedroom, and she had this paddle in her hand. And she come running out, and her hair was all standing up on her head. It was like every hair had a life of its own. Because I remember my mom always just having gray hair, and she always used to keep it up in a ponytail. She looked like one of those shrunken heads on the end of a stick that you see in National Geographic. We didn't bond very well. She was screaming and yelling, and my brother was in there bleeding to death. And she come out and she goes, "What the hell's going on, you goddamn son of a bitchin' kids?" You see, my mom had to call us that collectively because there were so many of us, and being Catholic, you know, you have 2 names. You have a first and a second name, and they always go by all the names. And if she had to like go through all those names every time she was mad, she would forget what she was mad about. So we were just those goddamn son of a bitchin' kids. She says, "I can't even be sick for a goddamn day! You goddamn son of a bitchin' kids!" I really like that movie. I really like that movie, The Sound of Music. They had the Trapp family in it, where all those kids went all over Austria and sang and made people happy. I thought, God, why couldn't we do that? Right here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on this stage, have we got a treat for you. I know who you come to see, so let's not put it off any longer. Here they are, all the way from Northern California, from the Feather River Canyon, those goddamn son of a bitchin' kids. And we've come dancing out on stage. We finally have a life. The hills are alive with this goddamn son of a bitchin' kid. I told my mom I didn't think this was a good time to whip my brother. He was covered in blood. There was blood coming out of a zillion holes. I said, okay, if you have to hit him, maybe you could crack him on the top of the head. But that's the only place that I don't see no blood coming out of, unless you want to go through all the problem of getting messed up and picking his foot up, his leg up, and you could smack the bottom of his foot. But other than that, Ma, surveying this whole thing, I don't think there's any place there that you can whip. I think he needs to go to the hospital. And he did too. He had to go to the hospital, and he was in surgery for 6 hours. And it was terrible. They encourage us here in the hospital to draw pictures. they have a name for it. It's called art therapy. Every day they collect the pictures and they take them into their little office and they pour their coffee and they discuss just exactly what's going on in the patient's life. I'll do anything to get out of here. So I go along with the program and I do my art there. Oops, I forgot to put a mouth on me. I didn't figure that out. I shouldn't have put no eyes on me. They'd go, oh my God, no eyes on her. I don't think she's dealing with reality. I think she's still in total denial. Like they know what the fuck's going on. So anyhow, I do my pictures. I do exactly what I'm told to do because I hope to be out of here one day. So this is my picture for the day, the first picture. This is my mom giving birth to her 16 kids in limb sausages style. And this is me being happy, 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 happy. And I should have, there's my arms too, and I'm going like this. Ma, what are you doing? You see, the Catholic Church only believed in one kind of birth control, and it was called the rhythm method. I thought about that when I was a kid, and I thought, the rhythm method? What the heck is the rhythm method? So, I got rhythm, you got rhythm, I got rhythm, who could I do anything more? My mom never, she must have never got it down. That's for anything more. Me! I could ask for something more. It would be nice to be born into a family that had like one kid or no kids. I'd even take a Mormon family, just somebody that had lots of food. The rhythm method. So silly. It's just so silly. You have to wonder. I was in my bedroom one day sitting on the bed, and I was like 5 years old, and my dad was in there sitting on the bed too, and he had his hands in my underpants, because that's pretty much where he had his hands most of the time. So my mom walks in the room, and she says, "What the hell is going on in here?" I go to myself, I think, what part don't you understand? I mean, I'm like 5 years old, but maybe I can help you out a little bit. Your beloved husband has his hands in my underpants. And then my dad said something about my brothers were sexually abusing me, and he was checking it out. And my mom said, "Oh, that's it." She just said, "Oh." And she just went to go out the door. And I went, "Ma, Our eyes met just for a brief second before she went out the door. She looked right at me, and I looked right at her. And she went out that door, and she closed it. You know, I think it was years later that I decided my muse was going to be the Catholic Church. Because I had made a big decision in my life. I was going to be a poet. Because you see, a poet has no responsibilities. They just stand around in black. They look very chic. And they write a few poems, and they smoke Clover cigarettes. And they don't have to say a whole lot because they're just too doggone smart. You'd go to your 20, 30-year class reunion. There'd be dentists, doctors, lawyers, happy housewives. Yeah. So anyhow, I would just stand around and I would be a published poet. God, I would be so important. Now, I have to tell you something. It's really, really goofy. You see, all poetry is self-analysis. So basically, what you're doing is you're just writing all this crap that's inside of you out and putting it down on paper. This is such a kick. These publishers come along and they build your ego up, and then they take all these papers that are written and they make a poetry book out of it. So we have like 40, 50, 60 million poetry books in just this country alone. And maybe there's like 3, 4, top 7 people buying them. Which, when you think about it, is really strange. But I knew that my poetry was going to sell. I was going to be a national known poet. And the Catholic Church was going to be my muse. I remember we had to go to catechism every Saturday, Sunday, Mass, of course. I was in church one day, and I thought, okay, I'm going to write a poem. I'm going to write a poem, and of course, I have to have a title, that's right, because I'm not famous yet. And only famous poets can have poems that are untitled. Okay, I got a title. Sunday Mass. Ooh, ah, brilliant. She's good. Sunday Mass. Hauled, pushed, shoved, made ready for the pretentious organ grinder. Monkey suits in order. No morsels in the offering. Holy Communion, sanctioned, body of Christ. Angels full of bullshit. Checked for dirty underwear, never knowing one might be in a car wreck. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us losers, now and at the hour of our death. Amen, 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 amen. Every Sunday morning, my mom would sit around, faded, stained robe, twitching face. She'd stare in fixed remorse. Unholy bitch. The fruit of her womb lies rotting. My dad, he would drink his own blessed holy water. He'd spit the rancid blood of Christ. The horn is blown. The horn is blown. Hurry, kids. Hurry, hurry, gather up. Catch her in the rye. Catch her in the rye. We go as the Christians before us to bestow our guts to the beast. Our Father, who art in heaven, howdy doody be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. A Catholic childhood. Fuck you, dear God. It was no fun. You know who I really don't like? I'm gonna tell you. I don't like Miss Romper Room. I never did like her. I hated it when she sat with that stupid mirror and she'd call out every kid's name in the country but mine. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Megan. Hi, Gilbert. Hi, Athena. She never said my name. I sat right in front of the TV and I waited and she never called me. And that song she sang, I hated that song. Don't be a doobie and don't be a doobie and doobie don't be. What the hell did that mean? I never got nothing out of that song. Now, I have to tell you something, and I hope this doesn't upset anybody. Because God knows I'm not here to upset anyone. I have to tell you that I was so happy when I heard that Miss Romper Room had killed herself. I thought, yes, at last this woman does something right for society. Now this is just how naive I was. I didn't realize at the time that there wasn't just one Miss Romper Room. I didn't know there were 7,000 of them all over this country. And when I found that out, I didn't like it either. And I thought if I was ever going to become a mass murderer, a serial killer, I would go after every one of those Miss Romper Rooms. And at the scene of every crime, there'd be a broken mirror. And on each body, I would pin a note. Don't be a doobie, do be a don't be. I thought, now I'd make a great Miss Romper Room. I thought when that one woman committed suicide, that's a job I could apply for and probably get it because I understand children. I'd be very good with them. I would talk to them, not at them, not down to them, because kids are very smart and they know what's going on. They're a whole lot brighter than we give them credit for. Besides, I would have my own TV show. I would be somebody. I know on the camera. I just know. Hi, kids. How you doing today? Now, when I say hi, I want all of you to say your name, okay? Hi. There. I didn't forget anybody, did I? No, I didn't. Now, today, we're going to learn where babies come from. Won't that be fun? Huh? Now, I hope you all have your cookies and milk. Do you? Run get them. Go get them. Hurry, 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 hurry. You don't want to miss this. All settled down? Okay, here we go. Where babies come from. Hello, 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 I'm Susie Egg. I live in the ovary above the leg. Yes. Someday I'm gonna find the sperm of my dreams. You'll swim right up to me and say, hey, Susie Queen. I'm Sammy Sperm and I'm your man, Fin Wham Bam. Thank you, ma'am. Now you see, that's something kids could use. That's something they could take out into life with them, and it would help them. And besides that, I would have a profound effect over all the children in the country. They'd be in their homes going, wham, bam, thank you, man. And the parents would be going, you stop that. That's filthy dirty. You don't do that in this house. Do you want to? Why not, Miss Romper Room, guys? I would probably not make a very good Miss Romper Room. Now, I know, I gotta tell you something. I don't know. I don't know if they guard our visits. You know, if they like have little things in here to see what we're saying to our visitors. So what I'm going to tell you now, I don't want to go any further in this room. This has to be between us, okay? There is a woman down in the TV room, and she thinks she's the Virgin Mary. She even has the holes in the palm of her hands. Said she died on the same cross that her son died on. But that she was nailed to the back. And nobody looked back there. And I got to thinking, well, you know, I never heard that anybody ever went to the back of the cross and looked. You know, this woman could be telling the truth. And like every 5 or 10 minutes, she lies right down on the cement floor and she gives birth to this baby Jesus, this immaculate conception. And she said she's got flames coming out all around her, and she just hollering and hooping. And she really gets this Catholic nurse really mad. Oh, this Catholic nurse just goes nuts, because every now and then the Virgin Mary just breaks out of one of her birthings and she starts washing feet. And this really gets this nurse wound up. She goes, now listen here, little missy. The foot washer was Mary Magdalene. And the mother of Jesus is the Virgin Mary. Now you can be Mary Magdalene, the foot washer, or you can be the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus, but you're not going to be Mary Magdalene and the Virgin Mary. And I go, hey, wait a minute. Do you know where we are? What difference does it make what Mary she is? God, if you're not nuts when you come in here, you're going to be nuts when you leave. I mean, she carries this bundle of soiled sheets around, nursing her little baby Jesus, waiting for the one that impregnates her. I say, hey, you're going to have a long wait. I hate Sundays. The reason I hate Sundays is because that's the day the priest comes. I don't like the priest. He smells like liquor. He has the same smell my dad always had. And he comes and he tells us we're all children of God. And then he gives us communion. And this really makes me mad. He gives us those old wafers that the Catholic Church used like 30 years ago. I know they're not using these wafers anymore because I go to church when I'm out on home visits. They don't even use these anymore, so they take them to the mental institutions and give them to us because they don't think we're aware of them. Because the Catholic Church is so poor. Yeah, so it's got to give out these little wafers that make me sick. They put those things in my mouth. I feel like a dog that's just eaten a bunch of grass and I need to puke. So, when no one's looking, I stick my finger in there and I get it out. Now I know what I'm doing could be considered sacrilegious. I know that I am treating the body of Christ like a booger. And I may get in a lot of trouble with this. This may be bad for me one day. Like when I die and I go to wherever dead people go, and if there is a God, and that God says to me, you are the one that treated my son like a booger? And I'd go, yes, sir, I did. But your son tried to choke me. Your son got in my throat and he tried to choke me. I'm sorry. Forgive me, for I knew not what I was doing. So, I'm really hoping that when I go over to that side, that Muhammad or Buddha is there. Yeah, Buddha. I just high-five Buddha and just go on in. We won't even have to deal with this booger business. Now, I realize just in case this is real, I'm not going to treat this like a booger. I will not wipe it on the wall. I would not put it on a ball. I would not wipe it in my hair. I would not put it anywhere. I'll keep this booger safe and sound, and when I do, I'll bury it in the ground. So I wait till no one's looking, and I just wipe Jesus between my legs. And that way I have Jesus with me all day. And I have conversations with him. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Jesus. I'm telling you. There was this time when I was growing up. Maybe this is why I don't like priests either. But I heard this story. It was going around, and it was about something the priests were doing with the kids. I didn't understand it very much. It was called molestation. I thought it was a southern dish, and I have some molestation. I didn't know what that was. Because nobody was molestating me. And the priests were supposed to be doing this. And I even tested this theory out to see if they'd do it, because I would see a priest coming down the way, and I'd just stand there, and I'd wait, and he'd just walk right by me. And I thought, well, what is all this molestation stuff? And it wasn't until years later why I found out my two older brothers are stark raving drunks. I guess they had a little of that molestation. Aren't priests funny? They wear them silly dresses. That's why they're bitter. Because they have to wear those black dresses. And you see, the Pope gets to wear the pretty dresses with all the sequins. You know, and I know that really, really must make the priests mad, because they don't get to put those pretty dresses on every day. And you know, the Pope's in there just twirling and having a ball. Because you know, those dresses are pretty. I wouldn't mind having a couple of the Pope's dresses, you know? And you know, they just put those dresses on and pull them up and get done whatever they have to have done, put them back down, they're ready for their day. They don't get me. I'm not stupid as I used to be. So here's my second picture for the day. This is the priest, and this is the Virgin Mary. She doesn't have any hair because she rolls around the floor all day. She's got that. These are her boobies that she nurses off of. You know what? I just remembered something. I was going to be a nurse. I really was. I know that's hard to believe, being married at 14 and having kids, but I got through all that part. And I got a divorce and married another person, and I went to school, and I was going to become a nurse. I thought, yeah, I can give something to society. I'll be good. I can really, I'll amount to something. There's a few things they failed to tell me about in nursing school. One of the things they didn't tell me was whenever you're taking one of those rectal temperatures in an elderly patient, you never let go of the thermometer. It has to do with muscle contractions. I stuck it in, I turned around, I turned back, and it was gone! Ollie, I'm free! I didn't really do that. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. I know, honey. I know, lay still. I know, there's something stuck in your butt. I know. I know, lay real still. I know, I already heard you. There's something stuck in your butt, yes. The doctor's gonna come take it out, okay? Yeah. What's that? Tell him not to hurry? Well, made sense to me. And then I get my first patient, which is really a big deal. And it's a 97-year-old woman, and she's tied to her bed so she won't hurt herself. And I got to thinking, she's 97 years old, and she can't hurt herself if she wants to? I mean, I would think at 97 years old, if you want to slap yourself, if you want to put yourself in boiling hot water, if you want to jump off a cliff, if you want to do anything, if you're 97 years old, you should have that decision. But no, she's tied to a bed. Why is she tied to a bed? I knew why, because the hospital needed money. And she had this NG tube, a nasogastric tube that went into her nose and down into her stomach. And that's how she was fed. So I thought, okay, today this woman and I, we're going to party. We're going to have fun. So I put like 6 extra packs of sugar in her cream of wheat. And I was sucking it up in that old tube and putting it in the NG tube and sucking it up and putting it in and sucking up and putting it in. She's going, and I thought, whoa, we are really developing a friendship here. We're bonding. I haven't bonded with very many people. And then she just goes, and then she stopped going, la, la, la. And so I thought, oh, I'll just stick a little bit more in there. And the cream of wheat bubbled out of the sides of her mouth. And I thought, this is good. This is great. What I've done here basically is murdered my first patient. My life is over as I know it. I'm going to have to go to prison. I've heard horrible stories about prison. Oh God, I don't want to go to prison. If I do have to go to prison, I'll have to have an attitude. I'll just go in there and they'll say, so what are you in here for, bitch? And I'll go, murder 1. So don't mess with me, okay? Because I'm one mean, badass son of a bitch. I mean, it's not like I'm going to go into prison and go, oh, I'm in here because I drowned a 97-year-old woman in cream of wheat. Do with me what you want. God, I was just... So I remembered that whenever anything happened to a patient in the room, we had to protect the other patient. So there was this woman in the other bed, so I went to pull the curtain shut, and I must have put too much weight on the curtain because the curtain and I went down to the floor. And you know what this woman here said? She said, never mind, dear, I know you killed her. I thought, this is good, this is great. Now she knows I'm a murderer, I know I'm a murderer, and I've got a 97-year-old woman with cream of wheat boiling out of her head, and she's dead. And who do I get for my first bed bath? This thing over here. I thought, I can't bathe her, I want to hurt her. But I was a professional. I got the bed bath stuff ready. I took it in. I acted as if nothing had happened. I washed all 7 of her hairs. I made a little hairdo. And then I washed her back. I did her arms, under her arms. And then I took her big, huge, saggy tits and threw them back over her shoulders and washed under there. And for one brief minute, I thought, I think I'm going to leave them back over there. So when she lays back on them, she'll pinch the shit out of her nipples. But I knew that wasn't professional, so I didn't do that, so I brought him back over. And I had everything washed, and I thought, now we've got to wash your legs here. And she never said anything. So I pulled the blankets back, and I went, oh, you don't have any legs. Well, we'll just shine up your little stumps. That'd be good. That'd be nice. I knew I couldn't be a nurse. I couldn't stand the smell of disinfectant. It was horrible. It reminded me of my mom, because my mom, if she'd have lived in the Old West, she'd have had a can of Lysol on this hip and a box of Spick and Span and a jar of that pine salt stuff, and somewhere there'd been the Windex, and my mom was horrible about odors, and she was a cleaning freak. It might have had something to do with her having syphilis at 14 and being put away in a convent and being treated with arsenic. But I didn't care. I didn't care about that. I cared that I couldn't do this. I couldn't, because the smell and I couldn't clean. Who's going to clean all
Yeah. Whoa, baby. I think you're getting a little worked up. And you think you don't need me? I think so. I mean, really. Like this goddamn mess could be cleaned up. Shit.
A woman's gotta do what a woman's gotta do. Some days when I'm feeling weak, too feminine. You know the song, I am woman, hear me man, and I just got off the can. You know that song, don't you? Those are the days I put my husband's boxer shorts on. They make me feel strong. I walk without that limp, that psychological limp I developed in childhood from beating the memories out of my brain with a rusted shovel. My dad never wore boxer shorts, never wore BVDs, not even Fruit of the Looms. He left his pants unzipped to prove he was a man. He didn't want any covering, not even a fig leaf. He had no shame. He'd brush my hair, get me ready for school, sitting just high enough on that green kitchen stool. He would force my head down, all the while fragments of my soul fell to the floor. There's many days I feel like slashing my veins, stopping all the blood, rushing to my brain. But you know what? Those are the days. Those are the days I get up out of bed and I take a stand. I put on my husband's boxer shorts and I walk just like a man.
Oh, God damn it. I don't walk like a man. I don't like a man. But you stop it. I hate that stuff. It's horrible. I hated it. It's not helping me at all. God dang it.
I didn't think it was that bad. I think that I'm getting ready to go pack. I might pack a little suitcase and go for a little trip, but I won't go very far. Oh, you're gonna go for a trip, Bubbles. I might go with you. I don't like to go away for a while.
Hey, you guys ain't going nowhere. We gotta stay together. We're a group here. You can't go away. I don't want you to go away.
You guys, stop this. You're all acting so silly. Nobody's going anyplace. Nobody's doing anything. It's just that somebody's got to get in charge, and I'm not sure who's going to be.
Me! I'm gonna be the one in charge. God dang it, I'm the strongest. I'm stronger than the rest of you guys.
Oh yeah, you sound like it. Sitting there crying like a big baby. God, I'm telling you. People always ask me, what's it like to go crazy? Bonkers? To be a lunatic? To lose your mind? God. I try to be as honest as I can with them. It's like an imaginary line. You know, just a line. It doesn't have to be a real line. And then for me, there's the wallers. They're like the faces in the walls that are always watching me. And the lurkers. They're always like going in circles, and sometimes they brush up against my skin. And then there's always this line right here. And some days, when I'm not having a good day, I go up to this line. I don't know, maybe some of you have this line in your life. And I just go up to the line and I'm the one that makes the decision. Nobody else makes this decision. It's mine, and I know that. I don't know that. So I put my fingers over the line. Now I know what I'm asking for when I do this. I know what I'm doing. I know. And then I put my head over the line. And when I do that, in that one split second of time, I'm just sucked in. I'm sucked into the darkness. And there's nothing I can do. I can't go back. My kids can't help me. My husband can't help me. Why did he do those things to me? Why did he do it? I hate him. I hate him for everything he's done. I have to give up my control. I don't have any control. No. Foreign doctors, all these foreign doctors working in mental institutions because they can't get real jobs in regular hospitals because they can't speak English. You know what's really stupid, really dumb about shock treatment? All it does is get rid of short-term memory. I don't give a flying crap what I had for breakfast. I need to get rid of long-term memory. And they keep giving me these vaginal examinations, which really makes me mad. And I just want to go, yoo-hoo, your lady, woo-hoo. The voices are coming from my head, not between my legs. Nobody's listening. They find out I'm pregnant, and they rip the baby out of me. Pro-nothing! 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 What good are angels? I want to know, what good are angels? And all the little children gathered, each one to scream their tale, how they had been mistreated and carried off to hell. I want to know something. I want to know something. Where were the lovely angels? When so in need were they. I'll tell you where they were. They were fucking with the demons in piles of soiled hay. If I had my life to live over again, there's a few things I would definitely do differently. I'm sure there are for you guys too. After raising 2 sons, one of the things that I would definitely do is I would put yellow tile on the bathroom floors. And then I would put yellow tiles on the bathroom walls. And then I would hang up those little plastic yellow curtains on the windows. Because when they would go into that room with their little one-eyed spitting vipers, that place turned into a war zone. It's like, Ronnie, honey, what did you do in there? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. And I don't think he did know. So I just had to go in there and clean it up. It's no big thing. It's just little kids' pee. What's that? Nothing. You know, I really am a very, very lucky person. I have 3 great kids, 4 beautiful grandchildren, 2 wonderful daughter-in-laws, a son-in-law, he's pretty good too. And you know what? I get so many phone calls. I know mothers that would die to get the phone calls that I get from my kids. My kids, they really love me. They really do. After everything, they still love me. I have the greatest, most understanding, giving husband a person could possibly have. And you know that he has to be. And then there's my illness, the last member of the family. It's like my kids call me on the phone and they go, "Hi, Mom. What you doing? You okay?" I don't know. Is that you? Are you sure you're okay? Mom? Hi, honey. Yeah, I'm a little out of breath. No, I was outside working in my flowers. No, I'm not putting plastic flowers in the ground again. The only reason I did that is because the deer were eating all my tulips. I know. Yes, I'm taking my medication. Yes. I know, honey. I love you too. Give my grandbabies a great big kiss for me, okay? Tell them Nanny loves them. I love you too, honey. I love you too. Bye-bye. Thank you. But it's just my opening night on this subject because it's going to get a whole lot worse. I have a book over there, and I would appreciate any positive, negative, any kind of comments. I'd really like to hear from you. And thanks again for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you.